WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett, Memphis. Part of the Memphis Sports Network with 92.9 FM ESPN. ESPN 790 AM.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
And welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. I'm Dave Gabbard, one of your co-hosts here for Open Mic Saturday. Got our webmaster extraordinaire, Guy Trebo, sitting across from me, usually in my chair. I'm over here in the captain's chair this morning, in front of all the computer screens and stuff, because this is the annual Deer Whisperer show with Larry. He's hunting on the McCrory Farm up in Hardeman County up there around Whiteville, Tennessee this morning. And last report he had some deer out in front of him, and I hear it looked like Larry's back with us. Are you with us, whispering?
Yes, I'm still here, so I'm still whispering. But we had a couple of big doe come up on our right side where Steve McPherson is sitting in the redneck blind. And I got to say, this blind is unbelievable. We're 15 feet up in the air. It's doesn't have a ladder. It's kind of like going into an airplane. It's got a rail and everything. You got plenty of room. You can buy one of these things at Stiegel Brothers Outdoors, which is where I take my deer when I kill a deer. And I'm still hoping for today to stop by and see Scott Stiegel and all the guys. But we have not seen anything since it was a big doe, had a fawn with it. And I don't shoot those does. It was a big doe. It was up on our right. Most everything's coming to our left. The sun is just now coming. The frost is really heavy on us right now. And I have a sneaking suspicion we've got about 25 minutes here. And I was really primed. But now as the sun comes up, I think I'm probably going to kill one about 7:35.
Yeah, that's usually what'll happen. 5 minutes after we go off the air, you'll pop the cap.
Maybe we can extend this, but anyway, I know you're getting ready to talk to Brian Thompson and talking about safety in the woods and everything like that, and then you're going to have a report from the youth quail hunt coming up a little bit later. But I'll give you, of course, we'll break in anytime. This is breaking news on ESPN 790 Outdoors. Larry Ray. There's nobody else has breaking news like this, and so if anything happens, we'll get back with you and. We'll post all the information today on lroutdoors.com, right, Guy Trebo?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll have it all up there. We're taking some pictures of us in this unbelievable thing. I've been spoiled. You can actually lay down in this thing. I mean, with all the heated hoodies I got on it, I forgot to tell them I've got on my heated insoles, too, and my shoes and my boots. I am toasty as everything on this.
You're just kind of like a walking nuclear reactor, aren't you?
I am. Just don't light a match. Okay. So, okay, we'll let you go and talk to Brian, and appreciate you guys filling in for me, and I'll give you a call back before we go off the air, or we may break in any time if we can get us a deer here. Talk to y'all later.
Okay. Just hang in there. That's all I can say. And like he was talking about, earlier in the show, we've been talking waterfowl a little bit, and the next person we'll talk to, when you talk waterfowl, of course, you got the word water in it, and so we need to talk a little bit about, some of the stuff that a lot of the duck hunters, waterfowl hunters, especially with their boats, that they don't think about going into the waterfowl season. So we got Major Brian Thompson. You with me, Brian?
I am. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. And you got a big frost up there where you are?
Oh, yes, big frost.
And
Still,
everything.
too, no wind.
And that's kind of, like it's kind of a phenomenon out there that, right at daylight when the sun comes up, temperature will drop 3 or 4 degrees. So if you're right there on the verge of frost, you'll have a heavy frost. So, but of course, Brian's our Region 1 Law Enforcement Program Coordinator, Law Enforcement Supervisor. And like we said, of course, today, the 14th and 15th, we've got the 2-day, first part of the split season, the 2-day up there at Reelfoot. But I know y'all, when you're checking waterfowl hunters on the lakes and stuff, sometimes they don't realize what equipment that they do need on their boats.
Yeah, if you're out there in the water in the wintertime, then your boat, you got to have the same stuff you got to have in the summertime. You got to have your life jackets. You got to have your fire extinguishers. You got to have your running lights. If you're out there before sunrise. So, yeah, it requires everything, and then also, Dave, you think about wintertime, we got heavier clothes on.
Right.
And we got chest boots on, or hip boots on, or just muck boots that just, if you hit the water, that's a lot of weight. So we highly recommend, and as always, our folks, when they're out there in the wintertime or the summertime, they wear the life jacket. So we recommend everybody, wear your life jacket, especially in the wintertime. And if you do fall overboard, you get wet and it's cold, don't take your clothes off, when you're in there. Just got your life jacket on float, and then let's get you warm as soon as we possibly can.
Right. That's, kind of an old husband's tale, used to be you need to get them wet clothes off as soon as you can, but actually they will actually keep you, insulated.
Yeah.
And
another thing, too, is these young folks. We got a lot of young folks into duck hunting. I think duck hunting, took off several years ago, and a lot of people getting into it and stuff. If they're born after the 1st of January '89, remember, they got to have boater education if they're out there and operating the boat. So, it's a lot of same things fly out there in the wintertime. People just don't think about it. And then again, too, the kids under 13, if they're out there with you duck hunting and you're going in a boat, they need their life jacket on while the boat's underway.
Right. And you talked a little bit about the boater education. I'm pretty sure some of the young folks out there that's going, wow, I need boater education. So what's the procedure on that?
Well, they can take the course at any of our places where we proctor the exam. Bartlett Range down in the Memphis area, several libraries throughout the rural counties, but they get a study brochure from us. They pick them at those places as well. They study, they go in, they buy a Type 600 permit, costs them $10 to take it. You buy it one time, and then they pass the test, and then we'll send them a card just like you used to do the 100 cards. Right,
and like I said, this permit, you only buy it one time. So if you're unfortunate and you go in and take the test the first time and you don't pass, and like I said, this information it takes a little bit to study,
it's not just an easy test, and then also those that take it, if they got boat insurance, some of the insurance companies will give you a discount on your boat insurance if you take and pass the test. And those that take and pass the test know about boating, and whether they practice it when they out there on the water, just like hunter education. Those that take hunter education, they know about what they're supposed to do. Whether they do it or not is up to them when they leave the classroom or finish taking their test. So hopefully everybody practices what they learn in those classes.
Right, and to swap gears just a little bit, talking about, field safety. I know, we were discussing it yesterday morning, and on the way down, dispatcher called me and said, we had a hunter that got lost down on Wolf River, and dispatcher called me, I guess on my way to Memphis this day. It was between 12:30 and 1 o'clock. Said they did find him.
Yeah, well, I think that everybody found each other. We had a bunch of folks down there looking. The sheriff's department in Fayette County was. We was down there assisting them, and had a lot of folks in the woods. And apparently, the gentleman had been walking around too. So he come up one of our guys. They had EMT folks with him as well, and got him out safely.
Okay, well that's good. And that's one of the things. Brian, was at one time our regional hunter education coordinator there. And like. One thing we teach in hunter ed, you talk about, hunting. It's always good to go with somebody when you hunt, but it's always, if you're going to be hunting alone, you need to tell somebody where you're going to be.
Yeah, exactly right.
And what time you expect to be back, because that way, the biggest thing, if you tell somebody where you're going to be hunting, at least when they call us, and Brian has to get his guys organized, at least they know where to look.
Yeah, and I think this gentleman, he had, people's got cell phones nowadays, but, we can't put all our faith in our cell phones. They may not work everywhere. The battery may run out, but the bottom line is when you go into the woods hunting, especially if you're by yourself, like you say, Dave, let somebody know where you're going, when you expect to be out, kind of have an idea, and then also go in prepared for just, for anything that could happen with all your safety, your matches, and maybe an extra, one of these little chargers for your cell phone that you can charge it, with you when you're in the woods,
Right.
Just go in prepared just in case, anything happens.
And like me, with all the technology that's available and everything, if I'm going into a strange place and I let somebody, know, I still take one of the old time compasses with me and take a reading before I go in.
As we all should. That's exactly right.
Everything. So, because the battery might die on my cell phone, but it's not going to die on that compass.
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
But I hear got the big time coming up. The Saturday before Thanksgiving, we got the gun season. Coming up, any words of wisdom you want to impart to the hunters out there?
Let's just remind everybody to be safe out there today. Let's make sure we ID our cards. Let's make sure that we don't shoot at movement. We wear our orange. We have our tree stand safety harnesses on when we're in the elevated stand. We do everything safe so that everybody has a good, safe day and safe Thanksgiving and safe holidays. To see them all come and go again.
And probably one of the important things when it comes to, your guys and you want to make sure you've got permission to be where you need to be.
You've heard it your whole career. I've heard my whole career. Hey, there's no signs up there. Well, buddy, do you own it? Well, no, but there's no signs up there. Unless you own it, you got to have permission to hunt it.
That's right.
So whether there's a sign up there or not, sign doesn't mean just because there's no sign doesn't mean that you can hunt it.
Okay. Well, Brian, I appreciate you taking time with us this morning. You have a safe day out there, and we'll talk at you later, as they say.
Sounds great.
Okay. Brian Thompson, TWRA Region 1 Law Enforcement Supervisor, Coordinator, Program Director, and 3 or 4 other titles I can probably give him, But so I hear music. I see Greg's finger pointing at me. So get up, take a stretch, get you another cup of coffee if you're not coffeeed out already, and join us for our last segment of Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Outdoors with Larry.